Pooja, how many times do we need to remind you? Sit straight while you study. Why do you always slide into the books? My parents would tell me every time I forgot to sit in the right posture in childhood. I'm sure sometimes or the other you must have heard this too. Today we all understand the significance of sitting in the correct posture to avoid many health issues. But do you think it has deeper impacts as well? We'll find out in a few minutes. Do you know that most of the time one of our nostrils is more active than the other? There are only a few moments in the day when we breathe equally with both the nostrils. Otherwise, one of them dominates and it keeps alternating. You can just try it out right now. Close one of the nostrils with the thumb and slowly inhale and exhale with the other, and then repeat it with the other side. Very likely, you'll find that the air passes more easily through one of the sides as compared to the other. And it's a well-known fact that when the right nostril is more active, then the activities in the left side of the brain are increased and vice versa. The left hemisphere of our brain governs our logical and analytical aspects, essentially the masculine characteristics, and the right side of it governs the artistic and creative aspects, essentially the feminine characteristics in our life. And let me emphasize here that it's not male, rather masculine, and it's not female, rather feminine. To make the difference clear, both male and female genders are the manifestations of a certain combination of masculine and feminine characteristics that make up the nature of a human being. In other words, all of us have both the masculine and feminine characteristics irrespective of our gender. Our strength, courage, aggression are some examples of masculine characteristics, and love, emotions, care are the feminine characteristics. For most of us, one of these sets of characteristics dominates. You can imagine the two set of characteristics as the weights on the two sides of a weighing scale. In order for the scale to be in perfect balance, the weight on both the sides should be exactly the same. Similarly, to have a balanced personality, the balance between the two hemispheres of the brain and in turn the balance between our masculine and feminine characteristics is essential. Why? Because our external behavior is just a reflection of what we are from inside. And the idea is to give nourishment to the roots of the plant to make it healthy and look beautiful, rather than just cleaning the dust from its leaves. So two of the main nourishments that we can provide our mind with are balance and clarity of thoughts. As we have been talking about so far, yoga has a much higher purpose. But one of the very first achievements you get with the practice of Hatha Yoga is to move towards establishing a balance between these characteristics, which enables you to move towards a balanced personality. But the point is, what is the relation with sitting straight? We started the podcast with this, right? To understand this, we need to know that between the breath flowing through the nostrils and the brain getting affected by it, there is a subtle aspect involved. We have energy channels spread throughout our body. It is the same energy that manifests itself to make the physical layer of our body. We will discuss the various dimensions of our existence, including the physical and the energy body, in the next episode. But for now, it is important to understand that two of these main channels run through the two sides of our spine, and they get energized as we breathe through the corresponding nostril. Breathing is a physical process resulting in the activation of these subtle energy channels, which in turn impact the functions of the opposite side of the brain. If we shift our weight to either side of the spine or keep it bent from its natural position for long, then we end up compressing one of these energy channels, resulting in their blockage on one side, which in turn results into activation of one side of our brain while suppressing the other. We'll either become excessively masculine or too feminine, both of which are the sign of being imbalanced. Now, it doesn't mean that just by sitting straight you'll become balanced and have a fantastic personality. If you sit straight all the time like a wooden stick, this will not ensure the balance. But if you don't, this will ensure that you are imbalanced. Now tell me, when does your mind work best? For some, it may be early morning. For others, it may be late night when everyone else is sleeping. But actually, it's not about the time of the day. The mind works best when it is less distracted. By choosing an isolated place and a quiet time, it is easy to avoid external interference. But what about the internal one? Don't you think we have a lot of unnecessary thoughts and memories running through our mind all the time, even when we work on something important? And sometimes we love to overthink because we get satisfaction in pretending to ourselves that we have so much to think about and we are really concerned about things. What we fail to understand is that by doing so, we do not solve the issues we overthink about. Rather, we end up doing most of our activities subconsciously. Do you remember I asked you to remain focused only on the work at hand in one of the previous episodes? If you spend significant time practicing to remain conscious of exactly what you are doing at a time, then you would notice that you can reduce the number of thoughts occupying your mind at a given time. This not only improves your efficiency but brings clarity of thoughts as well, as the mind has to process a lesser number of thoughts now. Clarity in thoughts and the ability to process them faster bring clarity and confidence to your speech. Remember, there are some people who have tremendous confidence even when they don't have clarity of thoughts. But I'm sure you would not want to be confident without having the necessary clarity. It should generate from within, right? But the most important benefit will be that your mind will experience peace. When the mind is peaceful, the same will be reflected in the way you speak and respond to situations, which is an important aspect of your personality. Sometime or the other, we all react to situations and regret later, thinking that we could have handled it better, right? Nobody tells us that we could do better, but it is our own mind that tells us and makes us feel guilty. And we wonder, why didn't we think of a better solution earlier when it was needed? Because we were not calm and focused. You can see your shadow only in still water. Similarly, the solutions that come from deep inside your mind can only be accessed when it is peaceful and still. So stay conscious of every small work you do today, no matter how trivial you think it is. It's not easy, so whenever you deviate, just bring the focus back and continue. No regrets. Whenever you feel overexcited or angry, just stop for a while and focus on your breath for some time before responding. You'll definitely see the difference happening inside out and develop a strong foundation for an enhanced personality. Thank you for listening. May we all achieve the balance we just talked about. Going forward, we will understand what is an energy chakra. I'm sure you must have heard about chakras and their connection with the balanced personality as well. In the next episode, we will start with understanding the different dimensions of our existence, including the energy layer where these chakras exist. So stay tuned and have a nice time.